Yes, Jah. Rastafari. Greetings one and all. Welcome, welcome. Do it with my earphone. How everybody doing? Hope everyone is doing fine. Today on a journey. Doing some walking like always.
Do a trick. No, I don't know what
It's a nice little evening. The sun is still up, still hot, but the breeze is kind of blowing all cool, so it's kind of soothing. Yeah, one more time again, we have to give thanks to the Most High, the one infinite, the supreme being, the divine providence. This is another beautiful afternoon. We have strength, got life in our body. We have to give thanks. We're walking around with a beautiful smile on our face. No matter what the circumstances, we do have to give thanks. It's a blessing. Yeah. So I hope everybody is doing all right. Everybody get home safe from work and kicking their foot up, relaxing, watching a little TV, or maybe having a drink or eating dinner wherever you are. Some places it's morning time now. Here in California, it's just PM. It's just in the evening. So a lot of people on the East Coast, a lot of states are 3 hours ahead. You know, in some other country, they are up to 8-9 hours ahead. So all those countries that are ahead of us, ain't they like in the future? How come they can't predict what the lottery numbers are? Just yeah. Yes, everyone. Ricky G is taking a stroll. Me and a beautiful princess over there, so I take a stroll. Yeah, every evening we kind of take on this role of walking, but I'm not really a person that come live all the time, so I just decided I might pick up this going live habit, because it don't matter how dark a topic of conversation is, there is some light into it. You know what I mean? Don't matter how misleading some information may be, there is some truth oftentimes find into those things. So everybody have their opinion, everybody have something to say. Our job or our mindset should be, if it doesn't resonate with us, we move on. If they're saying something that kind of spark a little peak of interest, let's hear him out and listen to what he or she have to say. And each one teach one. So whatever topic the conversation is, everyone would have their own opinion. They'll formulate their own individual opinion. Our job is to respect those opinions and hopefully learn from those opinions, so we can better formulate or articulate our stance in the near future. But heart and mind of men sometimes make it so difficult to actually show or give our opinion on a certain topic. They find offense to it, not knowing that instead of being offended, you want to go around that way? Instead of being offended, let's open up a dialogue, and then once we open up a dialogue, we can learn from each other. No matter what it is, there's always light in every darkness. At the end of every tunnel, you can see a light. You know what I mean? And I think that we all on the face of this earth, as in service of each other, so that the cycle of life continues. because we all help each other out, whether we get paid for it or not. You know what I mean? The nurses, the doctors, they help us out when we get sick, even though they get paid for it. That's their job, they get paid for it, but they still have to have a certain level of humanitarian dignity inside of them to take on that task. You know what I mean? Nurses and doctors are the human mechanics, and we go to them every time we get sick. You know what I mean? You know, pastors, the preachers, the deacons, those people are what we call the spiritual mechanics. We go to them when we want to get misled, or when we want something to believe in, or we want to pick up our hopes, lift up our hopes. We go to the pastors, you know what I mean, the deacons, the preachers. You know, when we want something to hold on to, something to strengthen us, we'll go to them. You know what I mean? The coaches, you know, when we trying to master our game, when we trying to master whatever game we play, we go to the coaches so they can direct us and assist us in doing or, you know, mastering the game. Same thing with the pianist. Before they become a pianist, just a regular piano player, learning, you know, trying to learn how to play the piano and stuff like that. So they go to the instructor so they can master their game. So each individual on the face of this earth, we are all in service of each other. And if we understand that, accept that, whether we're being paid for the service or we're doing the service voluntarily, we're all in service of each other. If we can accept each other's opinion, and even when it irks our nerves, we can have a more civilized debate. Because, you know, every time there's a debate and anger striking, we are no longer sane individuals having a conversation, because anger makes us mentally ill. And, you know, because we're humankind, we do get angry, even though some of us trying to, you know, we're trying to down press that feelings as much as we can. But every now and again, the beast came out. You lose. Oh, yeah. But every now and again, the beast come out of us, and we get upset and we get angry. You know, that is the sin right there. Whenever we get upset, it's, you know, that's why when I pray, I pray for forgiveness of my sin, and, you know, and I just remind the universe, in which the universe or the source, the infinite, the divine providence, it don't need no remembering. You don't need to remind it, but just still speak it out there that I am man of will and mind. When we say free will, you know, I have sinned. I ask forgiveness for the sin that I have committed, and because I'm a man, I will sin. So again, I ask for forgiveness beforehand for that sin that is yet to come, because we don't sin through our actions. And, you know, we first sin through our mind, because in order for us to achieve anything in this life, we have to first conceive it in our mindset. So that's where the birth of a sin, or the process, the thought of a sin, starts from. We just thinking about it. It starts right up in our mindset first before it comes out into the physical. So if we understand that, or, you know, at least trying to give some type of supplication to, you know what, maybe when we get upset, it is actually us committing sin and not the person that actually angered us. You know, just think of this. When we plant a seed in the soil, we actually dug up the soil, which is violence. You look at it, you know what I mean? We actually create violence upon the earth just to plant the seed. It's something bad for something good. You know what I mean? As a man, the only time a man really know that there's a better way to do anything on this earth without violence is when a fly or a mosquito pitch or land on his nutsack. That's the only time you realize that you don't have to use violence for everything. So it's just so every time I say that little thing, I always have to laugh because it's so factual, you know. Ah, boy. Yeah, but hope everyone is doing good. Let me see who all is here. Can't really see them. Can't really see the because of the glaze of the sun. I can't really see the screen. But welcome everyone that's in here. Hope you're enjoying what I'm saying. And if you have any input, please, make it known in the comment section, or inbox me, message me. We can have a conversation. Join my live while I'm walking. The lady is all back there. I don't know what she laughing about, but she laughing about something. What is it you're laughing about, man? You'll tell me later. Oh. Whatever it is that got her giggling, she'll tell me later. But I'll figure that.
I don't want you to mess up my skin. I want you to mess up my mental skin.
Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
I don't know what I did or what I said, but whatever it is, got her back there laughing. She can't stop laughing right now. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, as I was saying, as individual upon the face of this earth, that we're placed upon the face of this earth to be in service of each other, whether we're being paid for that service or we're doing that service voluntarily. Which direction, babe?
Let's go.
You want to go that way? Okay, let's go that way. Yeah, so yeah, when we're whether we're being paid for the service or that we render, we're doing it voluntarily, it's the same thing stays to be true. We are all here in service of each other. Now, it is true that there's some people put out more effort than others. That's the nature of humankind. That's the beauty of people. You know what I mean? The beauty of people, the art and mind of people is so diverse that it's not a one size fit all. It's not a one size fit all. Because, we're regardless, even though the Christian religion will have us think that there is one God, human dignity, human positive and negative human aura, human energy, human vibration tells us that's not true. Because if it was a one God system, everybody would be having the same agenda. Everybody would be thinking the same way. Because since we're being made in His image, we would have the same notion, same mindset. But because it's a universe of gods, council of one, so it's just like how you have Congress, they come in and they vote on in a particular topic, and then they whatever laws or regulation they pass, whatever code they update or violate, they send it to the president, and the president signed it into law. Then the speaker of the house or the press secretary made it public. You see what I'm saying? So it's a council that come together and negotiate and speak as one. And that's what I think. So we're living in a revelation time. You know what I mean? We're living in a revelation time, and if you read anything about the Bible, I implore you to also read other books other than the Bible, because the Bible contradicts itself, and half of the things that are in the Bible is modern translation that makes it not true or misleading. A lot of things that are in there that we read, if you read uh what they call it, the Nevia version, the New Testament, and then you go and you read the Old Testament and the older version, you will realize that, oh man, these updated translation are way off base. You know what I mean? So you know, the one thing that you can't put 100% accurate truth or believe in the Bible, the fact that the Bible has a copyright. So whoever is writing these things, they can actually pull that back and make changes to it, because they own it. It's got a copyright. So you know that thing is written by men. But however it is ancient. It's been around for centuries, thousands of years. You know, the concept or the canonical writings that came down into the Bible, and I'm sure 1,000 years from now it won't be called the Bible, it will be called something else. You know, because over time, things, new translation, new languages are being formed, and people just change the concept of thought. Right now, we're living in a digital age where everything is being done on a digital device. So, give it another 20, 30 years, books are going to be outlawed. It's probably going to be illegal to have a book. You know what I mean? Because everything is being done on a digital device or digital interface. And then give another 1,000 years from then, give another 1,000 years from then, people are going to start learning how to read from a book all over it. Another 1,000 years from then, people are going to start learning how to read from a book all over again when they claim they invented something again. So everything that we have, including these smartphones, these digital interface or digital device, they were once on top of this earth before, got destroyed, and went away and rediscovered. I want you to understand this as humankind, as each individual being on the face of this earth. Nothing that man made, they created. Mankind does not create nothing. We rediscovered things, we made things. We don't create it. Because the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. Creation was already completed. Creation was already done. You know what I mean? So anything that you hear, oh, a man created this, no. They rediscovered it. They found it. You know what I mean? They didn't invent it, they didn't create it, they just rediscover it, and we make it after that. If you notice, you could go into hello, how are you? Have a wonderful evening. Yeah, if you notice, we could go into some neighborhood, some upscale neighborhood, and we'll see a lake, but it's called a man-made lake, not a man-created lake. You know what I mean? So that ought to tell you, it's created by God, or by the source, by the infinite, and made by the hands of men. Is that police? Oh, they live there. He must be a ranger or something. State trooper, maybe. Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
They're so exactly like the street I used to walk on. It almost feels like I'm on that street.
Yeah. So if you identify with what I'm saying, yeah, please just put a 1 in the comment section if you identify with what I'm saying. If I'm talking foolishness, just put a 5 in the comment. How are you? Blessed evening. Yeah, so we go through this life and we trod through this earth. Most of us, you know what I mean, we uplift others. Even in our time of despair, we find the strength to uplift others. You know what I mean? If you can identify with that, sometimes you're feeling so down and depressed, but other people are calling you because they are also feeling down and depressed. But based upon your experience and the road you have traveled, and oftentimes nobody sees it because you wear a smile all the time, and they see you always have your chest up and your head up high, and you're making the strides of life. You know what I mean? But nobody sees the demons that haunt you. Nobody sees the fight that you go through. But, you know, here they come and they call or they visit because they want your opinion on something. They want to give their burden to you, and they want you to fight their battle for them, or at least tell them how to fight their battle. And you'll do that, and they'll get through their turmoil and they moved on, not giving a second thought that shit, Tom might be going through the same thing. That's why he's so experienced in giving advice about it. Mary might be going through the same thing. That's why it's so easy for her to decipher it. They know nobody will think that way. But what they'll do is like, oh, thank you. Whatever information you give me, it works. I appreciate you so much. And then you haven't heard from them again until they falter again. You know what I mean? And as humankind, as flesh and blood, we want to get upset because you feel like you're being used. You know, they only come around when they're down to the ground, but once you help them to pick themselves up, they're gone. But then if you ever get upset and get angry and let them know that you are hurting too, they'll say, why you didn't say anything? Why you didn't tell us? No, I didn't have the chance or the opportunity to tell you because you was burdening me down with your own issue, and you needed help. You know what I mean? Once you got that help, you never stood there and asked me, how am I doing? Do I need anything? You know what I mean? And a lot of people know this is facts. A lot of people know this is true. Which direction are we going, babe?
To the right. To the right.
Right? Okay.
We're going back to the park.
Okay. Yeah. So a lot of people, they don't realize that while you are busy rendering aid to them, just like you go to the hospital and a nurse is there rendering aid or giving assistance to you, and all you're thinking about is getting better, feeling well, and what a nice nurse she is. But you don't know that she's been standing on her feet for 16 hours. You know what I mean? Because she's trained not to show that emotion, not to show her pain. You don't know that she's standing on her feet for 16 hours. A doctor came and did a successful surgery, you know, save your life or save a loved one life. And you say, oh, the doctor is so good. The doctor is so good. You don't know that doctor is drowning in debt. Because we see the doctor and he or she's driving a nice Mercedes or what have you. But we don't know what demon haunts them. We don't know what battle they're fighting. But human dignity, our human ego, won't give us the propensity or even the poise to ask such a question. You know what I mean? We can't fathom in our mind that somebody might be going through something that is 100 times worse than what we're going through. You know what I mean? But that is because we all got this thing called free will. And free will is the sin that creates all selfishness. Free will, it's a spirit that creates all these things. You You know what I mean? So that give credence to the term that I can't see this universe governed by one God. You know what I mean? Because we are so diverse and so indifferent to each other that it doesn't make sense that a God would create us all and then differentiate us, like change our demeanor, change our attitude towards each other, put hatred in the atmosphere, knowing it's gonna stain the earth with nothing but blood, war, and destruction. You know what I mean? That's not a one God concept. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, that is not a one God concept. You know what I mean? It would only seem like that we have multiple gods. You know, let us go ahead, babe. Let us make man in our own image. So that is the phrase, let us. So as we know it in the English language, us is plural. Our is also plural. So the one God concept, I think it's null and void. You know what I mean? I think it's null and void. Now I do believe in the supreme being and the infinite, the source that give it life. You know, I don't believe that. But even the word God, it's fairly a new word. You know what I mean? That word God is not more than 400 years old. And this earth is billions of years old. See what I'm saying? And now, as we look, we go through life every day and we strive for the greatest expectations. We go through life and we all reach for the stars in our own way. And then it's like we're just living to obtain all these materialistic things so that we can die off and leave it. So why not just try love? Because we live in sinful times, and it seems like it's always sinful times. War and crime, hatred and strife, and you know what I mean, this bickering, this gossip, this pilfering, all these things, this frolicking. Why not just try love? What if we would say, okay, you know what? All these weapons of mass destruction, all these guns, all these bombs, we're not gonna man them no more. We're just gonna help each other to survive as everyone help us to survive. We're just gonna see our brothers and sisters, no matter their ethnicity, no matter their complexion, no matter who or what they are. We're just gonna show them love. We're just gonna be courteous and kind. I wonder what would happen.
Speed, agility, and all that stuff. You know.
Yeah. I wonder what would happen if we try that. I still think that the earth will still be, you know what I mean, entertaining. I still think that the earth, we still be making money, we still be partying, we still be having fun without the violence. Without the violence, we'll still be having fun without the violence. Yep. So with that being said, man, I want y'all just to think of that. Think about that. And see if I'm telling a lie or if I'm just talking foolishness. Think about that, and then I'm gonna end the live right here. Cause I see my lady, she walking, she needs some of my attention right now. So so alright guys, thank you all for listening to me blabbering for a little while. And I guess another time when I have another topic to talk about, I'll come live again. Y'all enjoy the rest of the evening. Blessed love.